Yo, what up? Kamikaze Soundwaves here. Man, I am obsessed with Destiny 2 all over again, just like I was Destiny 1. Destiny 2 right now is absolutely killing it, okay? So, with that being said, I am totally back in. Any time that I have to play, I've been playing this. So, they have been doing great things with the story, with the seasons. And with that being said, man, I kind of have some theories about, I think, where Destiny might be heading. And some of these theories have already been thrown out there. But this is kind of my take on what I think Destiny may be doing. And with the new week that started today, something was said in game that really made me think like what I'm thinking could actually come to fruition. Okay, so basically, in a nutshell, I'll try to break it down as quickly as I can. Right now, we have befriended one of the houses of the Elixir, which is the House of Light, who still basically worship the Traveler or follow the Traveler into light and what have you. In this time period that we've been doing that, we've been working together to fight off the Vex. Okay, they basically put this entire the entire city in just a constant state of night. With some kind of simulation. So right now that's what we're working together to get it done. So in the time that we've been spending together working with this house and Mithrax, basically what we've really learned from each other is that we're extremely alike. Where we thought we were nothing but sworn enemies, we're actually more alike than we ever thought we were. And then there was a cutscene in today's week that basically it kind of showed the Guardians as the monsters and the villains of the game. Like Mithrax, he is a good fallen, and he has done anything and everything to try to protect his people. And the way the way the Elixir look at the Guardians, especially from Saint 14's perspective, that we're just evil, monstrous killers, and we'll do anything and everything to destroy every last Elixir there is. And that kind of painted us out, to look like the bad guy, Now, that's not exactly where my theory is headed. The only thing that I'm going to say is, I'm probably wrong about this, but something was said in game. Okay, so Mithrax is having a conversation with the future war coat lady, or whatever her name is, who's basically kind of upset that the Elixir are there. And I'm not going to go too deep into the story and all that stuff about what's going on if you want to catch up, or if you're already caught up, or just here for the theory. He said something that I've been thinking. At the end of one of the override missions, he says, what if the Vex, the Cabal, and yes, even the Hive work together? Think about what we could actually be in the universe and what we would do together. And even Saint 14 cuts in, you would work with Savathun, which we all know the new DLC that's coming out is going to be a chapter about Savathun, right? The Witch Queen. But again, we also know coming up that one of the expansions, I believe in 2022, possibly 2023, it's called Lightfall. Okay, that is right now, I believe, the last planned expansion for Destiny. Probably just at the moment, you know what I mean? It could go further, but I think the last official thing that you can see, what the last official DLC or expansion is called Lightfall, and in that name, what do you hear? Lightfall, right? So there's been some theories out there that because as you know, as Guardians, we're already working with the darkness as well. We've already gotten powers from the darkness. We've also kind of somewhat befriended the Cabal, so to speak. So here's where my theory and then lies. So hear me out. I know it sounds crazy, far-fetched and stuff like that. And what if, just what the fuck if, and this theory's been thrown out there as well, what if the Traveler has not what we all and everybody thinks it is, right? It's been on the run for a very long time. It took care and did the same thing for the Elixir that it did for us before it came to us, because it just left the Elixir there to die, basically after helping them, giving them long eternal life and all that stuff, just left them there, left them there. Then came into our solar system and then gave us all the stuff it gave the Elixir. That's the only reason they're here, because they chased the great machine, as they call it, the Traveler here. So the darkness has been looking for the Traveler, okay? The darkness is here. It's in our solar system. That's why we can't even go to certain planets. I've explained a lot of stuff a lot of people know. So my whole point is, what if the Traveler, though, is ultimately the villain of everything, right? I know that theory's been thrown out there a couple of times, but what if, okay, the Traveler's given us our powers, right? What if after all this time and what they're going to eventually work into, the Traveler is the bad guy and he gives us our powers. What if we get our powers taken away from the Traveler, right? No more resurrecting, no more fucking solar, void, arc, all that stuff. We may potentially still have our powers from the darkness, but ultimately, let's be real here. If we didn't have our powers from the Traveler, we would be getting we would be like toilet paper to the rest of the races in our solar system. They would be wiping their fucking ass with us, okay? Straight up, no fucking question about it. The only reason we even are the way we are is because of the Traveler. If we were just normal human beings, we wouldn't even be in this game. So what if we all had to, all the other races come together and have to end up fighting the Traveler as one? The Vex, the fucking Cabal, the Elixni, all have to team up together to fight the Traveler. I know it sounds crazy. Right? And like, what would we even be without the light? But again, like, what if everything that we've seen thus far has been nothing but we've just been being duped? We've been being tricked. And even like the Elixni, like Mithrax said at one point, like, enjoy your light because you won't have it forever. And they're like, nuh-uh, what are you talking about? The Traveler is here to stay. But you think about it, the Traveler left the Elixni as well, So, I mean, I don't know, man. I mean, it's been kind of running in my head for a while, but then it was actually said in the game this week. So I was like, man, maybe there's some fucking weight to that. Maybe there's some shit to that, But I mean, think about it. I mean, look at the Vex, for example, right? The Vex are cold, calculated robot. I mean, they're not robots, but I mean, they plan out all of these things in so many different timelines and variables. There's no way they couldn't have already basically demolished everything. They control time itself. Why are they still here and still letting everything even happen in this way, right? I know we're guardians and we're powerful, but the Vex can control almost time itself. Literally, what if like just the Vex were here, right? And they're basically just making sure this timeline is going according to plan in order to defeat the Traveler. Everything's playing out the way that it needs to be. You know what I mean? And I mean, the Cabal, the Empress, like we've already kind of befriended her. I mean, we didn't, I'm pretty sure we basically landed on a treaty where it was because she wanted us to actually join her, but be underneath her. And we said, no way, we're guardians. We're not going to be underneath you. We're actually, a lot stronger than you are. But I mean, just as so, like all of these races, it seems like in one way or another are all starting to like come together. They're all starting to like, I don't know, like it's all starting to like we're all gonna be inflicted all together into this one epic battle. We're kind of like already on the same page with the Elixni. Only one house of Elixni. I know the rest of the Elixni don't like us, hate our fucking guts. But I mean, I think that there's a branch there that's starting to develop with the entire race. We're only, in good terms with a small part of them, right? We are all kind of on a good, somewhat kind of page with the Cabal for the most part. The only one that we really don't really have any kind of footing with is the Vex. I don't think we're there quite yet with the Vex. I do feel in some time frame, somewhere time soon, there's going to be some kind of main story thing or whatever where it's going to actually us have to work with the Vex. I mean, and honestly, you would think about it, we've actually helped the Vex before when they were in the Vault of Glass and the Taken took over the Vault of Glass. Like the Vex actually let us in to the Vault of Glass where they would never want us to be to get the Taken out of the Vault of Glass. You know what I mean? So we've all kind of crossed paths somewhere in recent times to help one another, but not so much the Vex. But I think that time is also going to come where we're going to also have some kind of good footing with them. So the Hive, I don't know how in the hell that would ever take place for them to actually working side by side with really anybody. I mean, the Hive have already pretty much destroyed the Cabal's homeworld. The Hive have pretty much just wrecked shit everywhere they go. Now, how would we ever go and be working side by side with the Hive in the future? God knows how that would ever take place. But again, I mean, when Destiny first started, one of the first enemies you saw was the Elixni, was the Fallen, and I mean, up until recent times in this point, did we ever really think that we would work together with one another? So, I mean, there could be a huge development there. Again, like the Hive, I feel like it's almost kind of somewhat like the ultimate villain of everything. You know, because they work so closely with the darkness and whatnot. I mean, the darkness has pretty much kind of got its hand on everybody's, you know, back somewhere or another at this point. But again, there could be a huge development that works with the Hive, and we may, you know, understand them a lot more and them understanding us, where, again, my ultimate conclusion comes together where we all end up having to work together for one big final fight to kind of close this chapter in Destiny. I don't know. I mean, I know that the Lightfall is kind of the last scheduled DLC at this point, but there could be more after that. But I really would hate for them to like take one of my favorite games of all time and just kind of run the ground. I think they will have to come to a conclusion at some point. And just like any Destiny player, I'm really enthralled by the lore and the story. I can't wait to see where it's going, what it's doing. So let me know what you're thinking. If you're playing Destiny, if you don't care about Destiny, fair, fine enough. But if you are playing Destiny and you're into the story and whatnot, I'm really curious to see what you think about that, and or if you have any theories on your own. I absolutely, again, adore the lore and everything that Destiny has to offer. I'm completely infatuated with it. I'm all about the game right now. I'm absolutely loving it. But yeah, so anyway, again, it's Kamikaze Soundwaves. Thanks for stopping by, checking out the video, and I will see you around, see you in the next one. If you haven't already, make sure you subscribe, hit the like button, all that shit that people say at the end of videos or before videos, but do that shit, or I'll come to your house and I will probably punch you in the face while you're asleep. So anyway, I'm out of here. Y'all have a great one. Later.